I'm Deacon Garrick, and this is my story. I've been called the voice, I've been called pipes, I've even been called Allstate. But what I have not been called off of is my assignment that God originally gave me. I believe He gave me my voice in order to speak the things of God, to encourage people, to edify people, and to do things like I'm doing today, to share my story with you. A lot of people recognize me by my voice, but what they don't know is the path that has led me to this place. At 6 years old, I had swallowed something very sharp object. Some of you have children, and you can relate to the fact that sometimes we get our hands on things that we shouldn't, and I did on that particular day. I swallowed a sharp piece of metal, and it first choked me, but then it went down through my throat and really scratched my voice box and did a lot of damage to what was going on in my neck region and area. So my mother had taken me to the hospital. She gave me surgery, or the doctor allowed surgery to be done. And at that time, at 6 years old, I was told I would never have the voice or mature to have the voice that a normal adult would. My father really took this hard because he has a speaking impediment. And one of the things that he did not want his son to go through is having to worry about his speech, worry about how he sounds, worry about how people will receive him when he talks. So this was devastating news to my parents. I was just scared as a 6-year-old kid, not understanding why I'm in the hospital, why my throat is in so much pain. So my church prayed for me, my family prayed for me, and everyone kept the faith. So as I began to repair or re-heal from my surgery and go on about my life, things seemed to be going pretty good. So good that a lot of people thought maybe the doctors was wrong. You know, maybe the Lord was able to work out a miracle and heal and touch my vocal cords so that I could talk and be a normal young man in society. Well, once I hit puberty, my voice began to change. Now, some of you might think, well, that's normal. When you go through puberty, your voice is going to change. But mine was changing to the point to where I couldn't even speak. I went back to the doctor, and they said this was due to the original injury that I had on my voice box and on my throat at the age of 6. Now they were saying that it had matured there was a hole in my neck that had grown so far that my voice would be gone completely. So just imagine going from worrying about how you're going to sound on a daily basis to worrying if you're going to have any sound at all. This was a place I was in, and at 10 years old, it was a lot different than when I was 6 years old. At 6, you're just innocent, and you're just looking to your parents to kind of get you through tough times. At 10 years old, you're starting to come into your own in terms of understanding your surroundings, understanding your relationship with your peers, where you stand, things of that nature. So to go without a voice was a very frightening thing for me. For 2 whole months, I had little to no voice at all. I couldn't go out to recess and play the normal games I used to play. I couldn't get up in the pulpit and sing with the kids choir like I normally sung. I couldn't get up and recite the scriptures in Sunday school like I normally did. I couldn't talk to my family members like I normally could. Some of you are maybe worrying about something going on in your life because now you're not able to do what you normally could. Well, sometimes in abnormal situations, God does the extraordinary. And after those 2 months, my voice began to come back, but it was very soft and very high. So I was embarrassed about that. You know, I got teased in school about that. Not only from kids who were my age, but even from older children. But as the months continued on, my voice started getting a little stronger. And so the doctor said, well, this is good, this is progress, but he probably will always have something that will remind him of what he had been through. And so the years kept going by, and my voice kept getting stronger. But even as it was getting stronger, other people could hear it, but I couldn't. Sometimes when we're going through things, other people can see that we're almost out of our test, but we may feel like we're still right smack dab in the middle of it. But through it all, I kept pushing all the way to high school. Freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and then senior year came. And there was a competition to see who could write what graduation meant to them. There was tryouts or things of that nature. And a friend of mine said, man, won't you enter into that contest? You're pretty good with words. And by this time, I believe my voice was at the level it should have been for a 17, 18-year-old in high school. But I still had that memory of what the doctor said. You always be reminded of what you had been through. So I was a little apprehensive about it. But after some pushing from my teacher and my family and my friends, I went ahead and I entered that contest. And I got down to the top 3. On my graduation night, the kid who was supposed to have no voice was able to get up in Freedom Hall in front of all of his peers and in front of his family, and most importantly, in front of my God, and deliver the winning graduation speech. By this time, I had full confidence that the Lord had truly healed me, regardless of what my mental may say from time to time. And I want to encourage you all to understand that you're healed, that you're delivered, regardless of how it may feel or regardless of what you may hear from a voice that is not from God. So I continued on, and I went to college and majored in communications, got my degree. Now today, I sit before you as someone who does voiceover work, who can be seen and heard weekly at my church, singing in the choir, being known for the very thing that the devil tried to take away from me. Sometimes what the enemy pokes at, sometimes what he wants to steal, sometimes what he wants to thieve is the very thing that will be the detriment to what he had planned for your life. What disqualifies you really qualifies you to do the thing that God has for you to do. I kind of liken myself to Moses, who was worried about his speech. And the very thing that he felt disqualified him is what qualified him. So I'm qualified not because of my strength, not because of my ability, not because of my gift, but because of the gift giver, because of Christ. I went through this situation so I could tell you about it. You can hear me clearly, and I hear God clearly in this moment, telling you through me to keep pushing, keep believing. You're not disqualified. You are qualified. That's my testimony. God bless you.